Well, to talk a bit more about this with me now, let's bring in live Sunday Times Asia correspondent Philip Sherwell in Bangkok. Philip, first of all, what more are we hearing about just how big the protests were today?
Well, these protests just aren't stopping. The numbers it's now very difficult to sort of estimate because they are sort of spread across the streets of downtown Yangon, the main city, of Naypyidaw, the capital, of Mandalay, the second city. They're sort of in the historic centres of these towns, and there's just a phenomenal sort of momentum here, but the crucial detail is not just the numbers in the protests; it's how they're targeting their form of opposition to the coup, to the junta, and it's this civil disobedience movement where they're encouraging and backing sort of government workers in ministries and in railways. To go on strike, to say we won't work for this junta and we will not cooperate with it. And the mission is really to sort of try and bring the military government to a halt, to grind it to a halt, to make it the country ungovernable. This morning it started with drivers in the streets of Yangon stopping their cars in the middle of major intersections and then sort of lifting the bonnets and looking at their engines and staging a massive breakdown, which was the prelude to people pouring onto the streets and blocking blocking movement and conveying this message again. They say we want our leader back, Aung San Suu Kyi, and we will not kneel under the military boots. That is one of the big slogans that's hanging in the centre of downtown Yangon today.
Philip, what more do we know about the fate of Aung San Suu Kyi at this point?
Well, she yesterday was the start of legal proceedings against her began in secret. Her lawyer has not been allowed to see her. He didn't even know it was going to be happening. Charges of illegal possession of walkie-talkies, which is kind of rather spurious and would have been used by her security staff, and of breaking the country's national disaster laws by campaigning in November have been brought against her. But her lawyers are worried that much more serious charges are coming. Maybe they're looking for what they call, this is the military government call, evidence of financial malfeasance, or that she ordered voter fraud to take place. The military's mission here is to rule her out of politics, to use the law to rule her out of politics so that when they stage some sort of elections in the future, the country's most popular politician will not be able to take part. But in the meantime, this crackdown, they can only continue this because they're not winning this battle. There's no sort of concept of hearts and minds going on here. They've arrested more than 400 people. Aung San Suu Kyi is the most prominent example, but they've been taking in politicians, activists, election commission officials. And the great fear is that they will move one stage further and move into a military crackdown as they have in the past. This is not an armed forces that is known for conciliation or compromise. And they've completely underestimated the level of anger and the willingness of people to go on the streets, as we're seeing again today. So, there is a lot of concern that they will move from legal maneuvers to military crackdowns to try and kill this opposition movement.
Philip, thank you for that. Philip Sherwell there, the Asia correspondent for the Sunday Times.